Hello, everybody. I'm back. This is yours truly, the Fab Academic Deputy Mother. Of course, as you know, my podcast is about young people. It's about young people as they grow, as they're at university or at FET college, or even as they study through their high school. And today, I'm coming to you. Actually, this is an urgent message because if you're at university or at a TVET, you're almost probably have already started writing exams or you're about to start. The semester is about to end. And this is a critical time because at the beginning of the year, remember I told you that put the foot on the pedal and don't move it until the end of the semester or the end of the year. Now, this is the time when you get notification as to whether you qualify to write exams. If you are at a university that actually uses that considers whether you have the sub minimum or not. If you didn't get a DP, which is the sub minimum that allows you to get into the exam, then you don't write the exam. And the DP is defined for each module. It's not the same throughout the module. So it's defined, it's described in each module. The beginning of the semester, I said to you, check if your module has got a DP. It will be written in the description of your module and everything that's needed. So if your module has got a DP, then check. If you didn't get a DP, that it means school rough. And of course, some of you would be appealing to your university to get a DP so that you can write the exam. But some of you didn't get a DP and you know there's actually nothing to appeal. So it means it's rough, right? And some of you got a DP, but the DP is a little bit too low, okay? Or maybe if you don't have a DP, it's a semester mark, okay? You have a semester mark, and in some universities, they add the semester mark to the exam mark and they take 50%. In some universities, they take 70% of the exam mark and only 30% of the semester mark. It differs, so you check for your module what's going to count towards your final mark. If you can see that actually you messed up so much in the semester, or in fact you were so unwell, because some of you might have struggled with mental health issues throughout the semester. If you struggled so much throughout the semester that you haven't been able to write some of the tests, or maybe make some of the submissions, or even maybe show up for some of the lectures, and so it affected your semester mark or your DP, then you know that you have been unwell. If you have been unwell, then ask yourself, are you well now? Are you well enough now to write the exam? And you have to be honest with yourself. If you are not well enough to write the exam, then it's better not to write the exam, right? It's better not to write the exam than to write the exam, fail, and then tell us after you failed that you failed because you were not well enough. Make the wise decision, okay? It's very important. And that's if your DP was bad or you didn't get it at all. If you got your DP, it's healthy, it's strong, and you feel strong enough, you're going to write the exam, and you feel that you're going to do well, you know that you're going to do well because you've been working hard throughout, you've been well throughout the semester, then continue to study hard, push. This is the last push for the exam, and then make sure that you do well and you can celebrate at the end of the semester. Parents at home, I hope you are listening as well, because remember that at the beginning of the semester I said to you, don't be too harsh. Don't be too harsh. You yourself have been a young person before. Even if you've done well in your life, you know what it means to be young. So if your young person hasn't done well, try to understand what's the problem. Be honest. Guys, be honest, because honesty is the best policy. When you're honest, you can make the right decision. It's the dishonesty that's not helping, right? So be honest with yourself. Parents, be honest with your young people. Young people, be honest with yourself and be honest with your parents. Be honest about whether you've been unwell, whether you didn't focus enough, whether you didn't know how to focus well. And so things are bad and it's the end of the semester. Now, let's go back to the people who realize that the ship is sinking. Rather than go and appeal your DP, and then they give you a DP, and then you go and write. If you go and appeal a DP and appeal that you must get a DP, you must make sure that you only appeal if you are definitely sure that you are going to pass the exam and this is going to come out right. Because if you appeal and then you fail, you cannot then come back and say, I wasn't well, that's why I didn't get a DP, and then of course I appealed for the exam, to write the exam, and then I wrote the exam and I still didn't do well. Well, if you haven't been well and that's why your DP is not well, and you are still not well now, then please do not write the exam. Rather, apply for leave of absence. It's better to get leave of absence, leave the university, go home, don't write the exam. It's better for your exams, your results, to come as you didn't write the exam, you took leave of absence, and be clear about how long it's going to take you to get well. If you feel you'll be well the next semester, and that even if you didn't write exams this semester, your modules will allow you to take second semester modules, check whether they are going to allow you, whether the first semester modules are prerequisite for second semester. If they are not, then it means you can come back in the second semester if you are well, to come and re-register second semester and do your second semester courses, and next year first semester you repeat your first semester courses. If you appeal and you don't do well, take leave. If you appeal and you don't do well and you don't take leave of absence, remember that counts. You cannot use your unwellness as an excuse, okay? Because it's going to be difficult, because then it means you're going to have to appeal academic exclusion. What we are trying to avoid is a situation where you get academic exclusion. I'm trying to help you not to get an academic exclusion, because an academic exclusion really is very tough to reverse. I know you say in your university, blah, blah. An academic exclusion is also tough to explain once you graduate, to explain to potential people who can give you a scholarship, to explain to the university where you're applying for an honors degree or whatever. So actually, it creates a situation where you always have to explain why you got an academic exclusion. Whereas if you take leave of absence, you are seen as a responsible person. You know that you are not well. You know that you are not well, and therefore you are not taking chances. You are taking leave of absence. You say it's going to take me 6 months, or if it's going to take you 2 months or 1 month, then if it's going to take you 2 months to get well, then you know you can go back the second semester. If it's going to take you 6 months to get well, then you can only go back the beginning of next year. Or if you can't register for the second semester module, if you haven't passed the first semester module, then you know you can only come back the following year. Let me tell you, Mtase, it's much better that you come back next year than get an academic exclusion. Because if you get an academic exclusion, it's even difficult to convince the current people who are giving you a bursary to continue giving you a bursary. But if you deregister, you can still at least talk to them about the fact that you are not well, mental health issues, you've got records, you've got everything, and you've made the responsible decision of deregistering, or not deregistering, but taking leave of absence. Taking leave of absence. Because when you take leave of absence, you are saying, I'm coming back. When you deregistering, you're saying, I'm getting out of the degree completely, right? So take leave of absence, and then you come next year, you come back with a bang. You've taken care of your mental health issues. You've learned how to manage it afterwards. If they've given you tablets so that you manage it that way, you're going to drink them and you're going to manage it in that way so that you are well throughout the semester. Note, I am giving you this advice so that you do not get an academic exclusion. I know how many young people have ruined their careers at university simply because of an academic exclusion. Some of them haven't been able to come back. Some of them have lost bursaries, and then it's very difficult to come back on track. So don't make a mistake. Make the right decision for yourself. If you're well on track, then that's great. All the best for your exams. And remember, I'm rooting for you. If you're going to write exams and you're not going to take leave of absence, I'm rooting for you. I'd like you to pass, to do well, to get that distinction and be on your way to continue with your career, either doing an honors second semester and then do an honors or a master's, or go overseas or whatever you want to do. If you haven't been doing well, it's not the end of the world. Remember, all of us, including myself, have failed at some stage. And failing a module or a semester is not the end of the world. The difference is the decisions that you make. If you make stupid decisions because you are scared that your friends will laugh at you or who will say what when you come back home, then you will regret. My advice is, if you see that the ship is sinking, take leave of absence, pack your bags, go home. Don't force staying at rest. Just pack your bags and go home because you've taken leave of absence, and go and regroup, get treatment, get help, go and touch ground. You know, ka Setswana we say, "O tsamaya o gata mabala," get healed, you know, and then come back with a bang. It is not the end of the world. Taking a leave of absence is not giving up, but it's saying, let me go and regroup. I'll be back. So take it that way, and you regroup for the months that you need the healing, and then you come back and you hit that course. I hope you take my advice. I hope you know that Deputy Mother has got your interest at heart. I want you to succeed, and I know it is not easy. And so make the right decision. Don't worry about friends. Don't worry about peer pressure. It'll always be there. Just make the right decision for you. All the best for your exams. I'm rooting for you, those of you who are writing. If you're not writing now, I'm rooting for your future. You have a bright future. If you're currently at a university, at a TVET, at a college, you are crafting an amazing future. Don't mess it up. Make the right decision for you. All the best. Love you lots. Bye-bye.